Good evening and welcome to Sioux City by Night. I am your storyteller, Patrick Gill, and tonight we will see our coterie back together. One great big happy or unhappy, undead, hashtag family. But when it comes to the kindred, from the youngest fledgling to the most ancient of elders and Methuselahs, and some say the antediluvians, there is always a game afoot. There are always plans and machinations, and even if a kindred denies that they are participating in the great struggle or the jihad between the ages, they still end up playing the game one way or the other. Uh, Even the mythical Incanu, as much as they claim to have escaped and removed themselves, are still brought into the fray. And that is where we come across tonight's coterie and bringing them back up. There we go. Playing around with something new in OBS, so sorry, folks at home. There we are. All right, say hello, everybody.
Hi, my name's Sarah, and I play Rachel DeWitt, the smartest Tremere of all time.
Hi, I am Greg, and I'm playing Francis Jacobs, run-of-the-mill Ventru.
And I'm Steve, and I'll be playing Flint, the neighborhood Bruja.
And as before, I am Patrick, just a regular plain Jane storyteller with many irons in the fire. So, the coterie has rejoined and are currently up in the penthouse of the Windstone building. St. Valentine's is closed for the rest of the evening. Zeke is nowhere to be found, but he is off doing Zeke things. You all have received notifications from Zeke that Kevin is behaving and is being left to his own devices. So there's nothing to be concerned about on that front, at least for the time being. But everyone is now back up in the penthouse and going about filling in each other on the night's festivities.
I'm definitely... Go ahead.
I was going to say, so how was your night?
It was interesting. It went a little differently than I thought it was going to, but I'm much more interested to hear what you two got up to.
It's kind of the same. It went kind of how we were expecting it, but it also went very sideways in places we didn't expect it to. Well, we went and, I don't know, Flint, you want to explain what we were doing?
So we met a acquaintance who is having a issue of some of our cousins coming down and causing quite a stir.
Your
in an area.
cousins?
In general.
Okay.
See, apparently a lot of people have been going into Anarch territory to get their fix. And a lot of lazy people are just getting off on the first two exits and causing a stir in a part of town.
Okay.
So we've had to come up with an idea to scatter these people out of the area.
And what was your solution?
You're going to love it.
Yeah, this is a good one.
Okay, we don't have all night.
You
How
have
do you
to
like
move
your-
the herd. You have to shepherd the herd.
Okay,
Sometimes.
I'm
There's a
yes,
couple-
I understand that.
there's a couple bad members that are in this group here that we might just have to remove.
How do you like your steaks?
Skirt.
Me? I mean, is it too on the nose to say bloody? Well, I'm still not okay. So there were people encroaching into Anarch territory.
Yes, there
primarily
were to
hunt there.
Yes, there were other kindred making their way from Sioux City down to Omaha and causing major issues. Basically, doing things that they aren't allowed to do here and making a mess in Anarch territory, and it's getting some news coverage.
Okay.
So
the Anarchs want us to clean our mess, and
I need to make an example out of someone, so hence the stakes.
Who was made an example of?
No one
Nobody
yet.
Oh, okay.
We're still scouting.
Like,
we're gonna run a combine.
The devil is in the details, friends. Are we going to be like? Are you holding back for fear of my judgment, or
a little?
I mean, we're in business here, so I feel like it's in all of our best interests to be, forthcoming to a certain degree. Okay, so you herded.
We are going to shepherd the herd. Yes.
Okay,
we need to come up with a game plan of how to make an example of someone that involves stakes.
We also will have a visit by the prince because we need to.
Oh yeah, we're throwing a party.
Yeah, we're throwing a quick party. Yeah. Oh yeah, Prince is going to be here too.
I'm sorry.
I mean, code word party, not an actual party. Code word party. Z. The prince is coming over.
Prince is coming over. Zeke's getting everything prepared. That's why Zeke's not around.
When will the prince be here?
What time is it?
Yeah, I look at my watch.
It is approximately 12:30.
30 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. Why did the prince he called you, or?
Yeah, he sent us
Prince
down.
sent us out to fix the problem.
I figured that.
We're letting him know of our solution face to face because it's something that we need to pass by.
Here's the thing that I'm still time is of the essence here. I've come to find. So I'm not really understanding what happened to you, like, in a very, like, simple way while you were out, like point A to point B. I don't really know, like, where did you go? What did you do while you were there? Like, I'm getting this idea. Oh, we came up with the solution to, but what happened? Where's all the...
Okay, let me start from the beginning.
Thank you. God damn.
Flint and I got into his awesome truck.
Okay.
We drove down to Ottawa. We met with a baron at a truck stop that the truck stop where we kind of have parlays every so often.
Sure.
I don't know what you might not know about that. You're still young.
It makes sense.
So it's right halfway point. We met up, and I don't know. I mean, he's a brouhaha. I mean, no offense, Flint, but he's a brouhaha. And so the things were said. He said we needed to get this taken care of. Jimenez didn't have time for handling this. So on the way home, we kind of formulated this plan, and so we're going to try to track down someone who is being the loudest mess down in Omaha and make an example of them, because they're not supposed to be doing that stuff here in Sioux City. So we need to hold them to the same standards if they try to venture away, because we can't let that continue.
Okay, this makes more sense now. I'm seeing
Sorry.
the picture.
Sorry.
It's okay, but the last thing I want to ask you...
I'm still kind of coming down off the buzz I got for my last feed. So...
Oh, okay, so that was part of your...
That's when stuff went sideways, yeah.
That poor
Okay,
trucker.
and do you care to elaborate, or I'm not...
We made a quick snack stop at a rest area on the highway, and found a very, very inebriated truck driver, and
He's off the road soon, hopefully.
yeah, someone might have made a call to how is my driving, reported. Yeah, I mean, he was 3 sheets to the wind. I mean, he's lucky he didn't kill anyone.
Or killed himself.
Yeah.
Wow, what good Samaritans you are.
Thank you.
Okay,
So,
well...
Judgy McJudgerson,
What did you get up to?
what were you up to?
I was meeting someone about the problem in my residence. Because
Damn it.
I don't have the knowledge required, so I sought out someone who did. And we had a conversation, and things are going to get resolved. I made a deal, and I'm going to fulfill my end of the deal so I can finally put this ruckus to rest.
What type of deal? It seems like we've been kind of throwing deals out left and right. Like, who do we owe shit to?
I'm keeping track of who I owe.
Well, we're a team, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah. She wanted to learn some of the skills that I possess as a Tremere in exchange for her assistance, and so I agreed.
Oh, okay. I mean, as long as we're not in like a... Yeah.
It has nothing to do with you two. You don't need... This is a personal transaction. That being said, it stays between us.
What stays between us?
The deal that I made.
Oh,
What deal?
ruined it. There you go.
Great.
Back on track.
Perfect. Okay. What is the prince expecting when he gets here?
Us.
Us. I mean, we need to fill him in on the business with the Baron, and we also need to fill him in with Needful Things, dude. You know,
Needful Things, dude.
the occult dealer that we talked to the other.
Oh, sure. Okay. Right.
You know, another that venture.
Right. I recall that now. Rachel was sort of just standing around like in a cluster with them, and now she's sort of like going around the penthouse methodically tidying and like running her finger on a dusty and like
I'm gonna go watch TV.
You will find that Zeke has done a fairly decent job
okay.
getting the place ready. I mean, by no means is this going to be like you're not going to be holding any like official soirees here, but
Right.
I mean the place will pass muster when His Royal Eminence does arrive.
Can we say there's at least one literal balloon?
No, I don't think that would be no.
With the helium prices this day and age?
Rachel will have to watch the or Sarah, you'll have to watch the previous, or you'll have to watch the episode to really get the. So, before we proceed any further, I just want to compliment all three of you. This was a wonderful scene. I could not have written that any better. So thank you very much. That was awesome.
That was
that was awesome.
So, time passes. Rachel, you've been, putzing around in the penthouse, trying to find something that's out of place. And like I said before, Zeke's done a pretty decent job. Flint, you've just been hanging out watching TV.
That's all I'm looking to do.
Yep. And what was Francis doing?
How much time did we have before Prince gets here again?
There was a half hour. I will say the conversation lasted about 15 minutes, so you've got about 15 minutes before Prince Jimenez arrives.
Okay, so scratch that idea. Yeah, I'll probably just join Flint. I'll take the comfiest chair.
Okay, and I would say that the three of you do have your preferred furniture there in the penthouse. And I'm sure Rachel, if she's finding some downtime, maybe sprawls out with a book.
Yeah, for sure.
Got one of those great big bean bags.
That would actually,
I don't want a bean bag in the penthouse.
I mean, it's a high quality bean bag.
Take that to your haven, sir.
So, about 5 minutes before the prince is scheduled to arrive, Zeke gives a courtesy knock on the door of the penthouse and steps in. Prince Jimenez will be here very shortly. I do have someone waiting for him down in the lobby to escort him up. I will be going down there shortly as well. Even though I really don't have time for, we'll say, something big, is there anything really quick that you needed from me before the prince shows up?
No, you've done a
I don't
great
believe
job.
so.
Thank you. All right, I will be right back with the prince. Maybe, hopefully. And Zeke goes downstairs, and just as he said, he is quickly back with Prince Jimenez, and the sheriff has also joined him. Zeke, slowly and politely opens the door of the penthouse and steps inside, and he gestures for the two gentlemen to enter and closes the door behind them and does that thing that all good ghouls do and just seems to disappear into the background without really being noticed. That, making sure that he is present for his masters, but also not wanting to be an obtrusive ass and interfere in the proceedings. So, Sheriff Jones sits down and goes and he pulls out his phone and he's just kind of scrolling absently. Prince Jimenez is kind of circling the penthouse, and he's, oddly enough, kind of doing the same thing that Rachel was doing earlier, just double checking all of the finer details and nooks and crannies. So, gentlemen, I assume that you had a productive meeting down south.
We did, Prince.
Yes.
We met with the Baron, Bruja Baron.
Which one?
And
I'm under the impression that there are several.
Which name did we?
I can't remember.
Me neither. Oh no.
Y'all.
The one that you wanted us to meet with.
Okay, that works.
Met with him and found listened to his problem and came up with a solution.
What is his problem and what was the solution?
Well, go ahead.
Have kindred from our area here that are finding themselves down in northern Omaha who are making quite a mess and drawing attention to themselves. And the Baron is pissed.
Okay, and I am somewhat amused by the fact that they think that I care what goes on in their city, but continue. What was your solution to this problem?
Well, the way I see it, Prince, is we have rules here in our area to not be messy. And
True.
if we have people, if we have other fellow kindred that are making their way from our area going down to other places, yes, they are making a mess somewhere else, but obviously it's coming back and landing on our fleet.
Indirectly. This is the reason why I wanted the messier feeders to do it elsewhere. The city is too small to risk a masquerade breach of that magnitude. Omaha, North Omaha in particular, can afford some indiscretion.
I
And,
agree wholeheartedly. The Baron that we met with is stating, though, that it's starting to get some news attention.
The way that I see it, the issue is that they're getting lazy. They're only going into the first two exits when they go in. They're not spreading out. So what we can do, if they're getting a massive feeding and all this crime that's going on here, a bop on the head, everything should disperse. That we don't stop them from going out, just spread out.
And like I brought up as well to the other Baron, there's more than just Omaha. We got Sioux Falls, we got Des Moines. Yes, Des Moines is a little bit further of a drive, but the Baron wants it to stop completely. And I told him that we could go to other places, and he said no. But I told him, like, we can only do so much. So the way that Flint and I see it is we find the kindred who is making the most nuisance and making an example of them to let other people learn through proxy that discretion is of the utmost importance.
I am inclined to agree with that approach. However, we are the Camarilla. We do not bend the knee and answer to the likes of the Anarchs, regardless of how big their city is in comparison to ours. I personally, if you pardon the vulgarity, I personally don't give a shit what happens in Omaha.
I don't either. But I'm just letting you know, I'm just relaying the information that the Baron provided us. He is out of the utmost mind that if this continues, they're going to make their way north and start coming into Sioux City.
Ah. Interesting. Sheriff Jones, what is your perspective on this? And Israel puts his phone down. It's pretty clear that he has been paying full attention to this entire exchange. But he puts his phone down. And he's just kind of looking the room over. Well, logistically, yeah, they outnumber us significantly. We really wouldn't be able to stop an immediate turf war. If they did want to push north, there's not a whole lot that we can do, Prince Jimenez. So, I mean,
they already mentioned to us they're going to be trying to take over the Ottawa area, which I told them is neutral ground. And they said, well, tough shit, basically.
Well, here's the long-term play with this whole thing. We wouldn't survive an initial wave. The first wave of attack, we would be able to hold them off, but we would eventually, in a war of attrition, we would fail. That's not to say that we can't reach out to Prince Jackson in Chicago for backup.
Mm-hmm.
How quickly it's going to get here remains to be seen. Me personally, Prince, I would advise that we go along with this plan and make it obvious that we're not kowtowing to what they want. You know, we can definitely put our own strings on this arrangement, but that's just me. You do what you want. I'm just telling you how I see it. Honestly. And the prince seems to mull this over for a moment. I am inclined to agree with everyone at this juncture now. Yes, I think we could make this work. I will put it to the Primogen Council, and we will yes, we'll put some conditions on this as well. This is tit for tat, quid pro quo. They want us to clean up what we're doing. Well, they're gonna have to make some concessions as well. I will think on this. I will think on this very much, and I do thank you too for taking care of this business. So, that matter aside, how was the meeting with the guest?
It went okay. He wanted to basically talk and see about letting some manuscripts kind of fly under the radar for distribution through the area.
Yes, there were, we saw some photos that he had with him, and there were various occult symbols, potentially Latin, Greek, Hebrew, and yes, he's basically just asking for discretion for the circulation of these materials.
I will preface it with, he made it seem like it was material that the Camarilla wouldn't be too fond on seeing the light of day.
Indeed.
Now, is he wishing to distribute this literature in my city, or is he wishing to scoop up said literature, or participate in the trafficking of the literature in my area?
Trafficking, from my recollection.
Mine as well.
And he basically made it seem like if it's something that he wants to do, it might end up happening. He just wanted to get your approval first.
Well, I'm sure Mr. Amaya here would be... If he's making me aware of what he wishes to do in my city, he's already doing it.
Yeah.
And this may be cover for something else, which does concern me. I would say... I will say that I will... yes, I approve of the trafficking. Just know that the next time that you speak with Mr. Amaya, that you make him keenly aware that there will be repercussions if more than just the trafficking of old dusty books is going on. I do not particularly care for that man, both personally and professionally, and why he has chosen to grace my city with his presence is beyond me. Well, I have several ideas, but that's not important. Anyways, yes, go ahead and pass on to Mr. Amaya that I approve, and I will. You three will be my go-between between me and Mr. Amaya. I choose who I associate with very carefully, and he is someone I do not want to have be seen in my presence.
Understand.
He seemed to have some degree of faith in us as the intermediaries here, and I plan to put my personal eye on this particular venture as it has to do with occult texts, which is my specialty.
And this is why it didn't take a lot of convincing for me to let you into the coterie in the first place. This was a good arrangement, all in all.
Yes.
Thank you, Prince.
You are more than welcome. I appreciate the service that the three of you do provide me. It's you all do serve an important role, unofficially, in my court, and
of course,
that is why I choose to let you maintain this building and let you operate such a prestigious domain.
Thank you, Prince.
You are more than welcome, and I do believe that Sheriff Jones has information regarding the incident at the art gallery. Is that correct, sir?
Mm-hmm.
And, Sheriff Jones gets up and he stands up, his arms crossed in front of him like he's giving a presentation. Well, the ashes that we found in the mausoleum in the cemetery, we can't conclusively say who that is. All we know is that it's kindred. Anything else after that, I have no idea. And Ms. DeWitt, your primogen does extend her sincerest apologies to us and or Prince Jimenez and the rest of the officers of the city that, unfortunately, no can do. And I can confirm, however, that Primogen Peterson is missing. We actually had another one of his ghouls pop up. They're taken care of.
Okay.
And what he means by that remains to be seen. As of right now, we're not letting his disappearance become official public knowledge. It could potentially destabilize the city to the point where the shit heels down in Omaha might try making a play. So this is hush hush. This news doesn't leave this room, but I do suspect that the ashes did indeed belong to Primogen Peterson. Professionally speaking, of course, Prince. And Jimenez nods. So, what of the ghoul? You still have him under your control, yes?
Yes, still have him here. He is under a very hard-pressed thumb, and he is going to stay that way. And I will ensure that he keeps getting his fix until the point where he is no longer needed, or the point where Private Peterson shall come back if that ever happens.
Understood. Just know that there may come a time where I will just simply ask for his execution.
Oh, that's fine.
So do not grow too attached to the ghoul.
No worries.
He may unfortunately prove to be a liability. I would maybe ask him for some more information. Now that he has grown acclimated to captivity, he may provide some more useful information. But
My only concern there is at times he seems unstable, unreachable mentally.
That is, if Primogen Peterson is indeed dead, the powers of the blood are and the hold that Primogen Peterson had over the mortal may in fact be unraveling, which could explain away some of the mental instability. Just monitor the situation, and
Understood.
if his physical removal does need to occur, you do not need to ask for my permission to do so. You may simply do with him as you see fit, just so long as you do not violate the masquerade. Yeah, you are allowed to extinguish that man's life if at all necessary.
Heard.
And now I must bid my leave. Sheriff Jones, please accompany me to my car. We have some business to discuss further about our friends down to the south. And Prince Jimenez nods respectfully to the three of you.
I nod back.
And he turns and leaves, and Israel just kind of does a little shoulder shrug to you guys, and he follows Jimenez out. Zeke mysteriously reappears out of the corner that he was hiding in and closes the door gently behind them as they leave. Zeke does stay in the room.
Francis,
Yeah.
tell me why, when asked for information by the prince, you deliver such an eloquent retelling, yet when I ask you, I get some kind of jumbled mess.
Well, I guess I'm still coming off that buzz. I mean,
Oh, but you seemed to sober up quickly when he walked in the room.
can you blame me? You got the sheriff here?
Are you trying to say you should have as much power and presence as the prince?
Thank you.
No, I'm not saying that. I just want the correctly ordered natural facts as soon as possible. And I just...
Like I said, having the prince and the sheriff here, very sobering. When I was relaying the information to you, like, I was getting glimpses through the fog. And, like, I'm sorry. Like, I would love to have relayed all of that to you. It's just, as we started talking about it again, things started coming back to me. I was not trying,
I'm
honestly.
glad I can be that practice run for you then.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I'm being 100%
Rachel,
honest.
practice run.
You're welcome.
I'm being honest. If I remembered all of that stuff when I was telling it to you the first time, I would have done so.
Okay.
I was not deliberately trying to withhold any information from you. Although, I may say, you are still being pretty sneaky about what happened with your thing.
Well, the issues of my haven are not your problem.
It's in the building, though.
And I'm taking care of it.
You say that every couple nights.
Well, now I have a heavier hitter, so to speak.
Someone with a little bit more experience.
Once again, I could not have written a better scene. You guys are in rare form tonight. I'm really enjoying
it out.
this.
Okay.
So probably.
Oh, so I saw. Oh, on another note, I saw your smile at the mention of Kevin's execution. Are you quite ready?
I wouldn't say ready.
But willing and able.
Willing and able,
willing
absolutely.
and able.
Sure.
No, like I kind of see Kevin as a goldfish that you buy to feed a snake. They're fun to kind of have around until their purpose is to be fed to the snake. You don't name them. I mean, he has a name, but you don't name them. You take care of
Presumably not.
you take care of them until their time has come.
Well, I agree with the prince that he is a liability. So I say extract the information as soon as possible. Disposal.
But he still could be of some use until the point where he is no longer of any use at all.
As I was saying, he's deteriorating quite quickly. So I don't know how long we have to hold on to him here before he starts climbing up the walls.
But that's when they're the funnest. It's a challenge.
Their minds are useless then.
Well, no, I'm saying the hunt is more fun.
Do you know what kind of questions you want to ask him?
I'm still thinking about it, but
Honestly, let's go talk to him right now. Just curious
I
to
got a
check,
plan.
see how he's doing. Oh, okay.
oh, you have
I'm going to stand up and I'm going to start heading out the room.
I'm right behind him.
I guess I'm following behind.
So Flint, you're intending to go down to Kevin's apartment and have a conversation with the man?
We're going to have a conversation, yes.
Okay. Zeke, he's following behind the three of you, just as a little extra precaution. And I want you all to go ahead and roll. Go ahead and roll composure and insight, please.
Does my specialty of desires help me at all here?
No.
Okay, fair enough.
2 successes.
Goose egg.
Oof.
I got 2.
Okay. Rachel and Francis, you picked up on the fact that Zeke was a little uncomfortable about the conversation regarding Kevin being and not nonchalantly just tossing this ghoul to the wind.
Oops.
So
No,
Sorry, Zeke. I forgot
No,
you
you're
were there.
you're a good one.
You're a good one.
But Zeke of course is not going to say anything regarding the matter, but Rachel and Francis, you picked up on he's a little on edge.
I'll turn to Zeke.
Somebody's getting an
and-
extra slice of cheesecake.
And I'll tell Zeke that I'll look right at him and like, Zeke, I just want to let you know that you hands down are amazing at what you do.
Well, thank you, sir. And I do appreciate the praise.
Nothing. I just don't want you to have to worry about your well-being.
Understood, sir.
Is there anything that you would like? I don't know. Would you like a day off? Do you want to raise? Do you like? Is there anything that you would
I'm looking
like?
at Francis like, what?
Well, I personally would, and he's looking up and down the hallway as you guys are walking just to make sure. I mean, I personally, um, I mean, if at all possible, I would like for you to spare his life. It could very well easily be me in that position. So if it can be done, I understand an order is an order, but if it can be done, please treat him well.
Oh, I have every intention of treating him well. No, I hadn't. Like I'm trying to be as quiet as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, are we
Because-
overhearing this?
Yes, the third. Yeah, you're all walking down. You're all
That's
walking
what I
down the
thought.
hallway while this conversation is happening.
I like sort of, because I'm like, it's, I believe, Flint, Francis, me, Zeke.
Yeah.
So I kind of like pop to the side to try to get Flint's attention. I'm like, does this work with your plan?
Yeah.
I'll modify it.
Oh, his plan.
Yeah, his plan. He's the one who said he had a plan, which is why we're moving right now.
Yeah, and I think Flint and I are kind of on the same agreement that he'd be.
I'm trying to get answers.
Yeah, that's all we're trying to do.
That's all I'm going to do.
Okay.
And you arrive at Kevin's apartment. Zeke, or let's see here. Flint, you had a key, didn't you? Or who all
Yes.
had a key? I can't quite recall. Okay.
He's right
No,
across.
Flint.
He's right across from my room.
Yes, that is correct. All right, so Flint, you go to unlock the door, and when you open it up, you can see that Kevin has taken advantage of the lack of stimulus and the lack of interruption, and his political cartoons earlier have kind of evolved into an entire like mural in this apartment. It's pretty clear to see that this man actually is in possession of a pretty decent artistic talent. And the section of the wall with the mayor and his yes. I mean that's just one like facet of what Kevin has going on here. You can see the mural does kind of shift into, it does shift themes and motifs, and there like one section appears to be this is all done in pencil on the wall, by the way, but you can see like there's one section, it looks to be a hyper detailed like jungle scene, and you look 2 feet to the left on the next unbroken piece of wall, and then it's a something done in pointillism. So you actually when you open the room, you see Kevin is kind of sitting down in one of the folding chairs, and he's kind of like slumped over the card table, and he appears to be taking a nap.
Okay, I'm gonna walk over to him and just stab him on the shoulder.
Oh, hey.
Hey, Kevin.
Hey, what's up? Hi.
Hey, I need you to follow me for a second.
He gets up and he's... did Rachel and Francis, did you guys go into the room too, or did you stay out in the hallway?
I went in.
Yeah, I went in as well, but I'm hanging back.
Okay. Zeke is in the hallway.
Oh.
Okay, where are we going?
We're gonna go. I just follow me, and we're gonna go out to the stairwell, and we're gonna go up to the roof.
Okay.
Some fresh air.
All right.
I gotta say, the paintings that you're doing on the wall are really nice. That's
Thank
a lot
you.
of detail for just pencil.
This is kind of my thing.
See that? Do you do color, or are you just kind of into shading?
Well, and he pulls out the pencil, which is down to a nub. Like, this is all that you guys gave me. I'm making do.
Gotcha. If we were to get you some more stuff, would you take like colored pencils or?
Chalk, oil.
Honestly, I'll take whatever you guys can give me.
And I'm just having this conversation as we're walking up the
Yep.
stairs.
Yeah.
And I was like, have you ever done any label work?
I'm just looking sour. Like, I'm just beyond perplexed by this inane conversation.
What do you mean label work?
Like, have you ever done any, like, labels for, businesses? Like,
You mean graphic
ad work.
design?
Yeah.
Not really, no. I
Did you-
tried back in the day to, I was originally a cartoonist, and I never got syndicated, and
Would you be interested in possibly coming up with a new label for my whiskey?
yeah, I mean for the right price, of course. And it's at this point in time that you guys are out on the roof. Kevin is
Awesome.
fully enraptured in this conversation and not really noticing the fact that you guys are now on the roof at, we'll say, 2:30 in the morning.
Gotcha. Now, Kevin, it's nice outside, isn't it? Been a while since we've been outside.
Yeah, this is. Yeah, I mean, it's a little cold.
I understand. It'll warm up soon. So, here's what I wanted to talk to you about. We're going to ask you a couple questions. And if you're honest, you just kind of tell us what's going on and stuff. We'll be able to talk about trying to get that art stuff. If you're not going to talk to us, well, I'm going to throw you off this fucking roof. And I'm going to make sure that you don't die. And then I'm going to bring you back up here. We're going to ask another question. Keeping it pretty easy on you, you get to have a choice. What would you like to do?
Go ahead and roll. Oh, what's a good pool for this? Let's see.
Intimidation.
Yeah. Yeah,
That was a given.
this is manipulation and intimidation, please.
Can I help?
Anyone wishing to physically participate in this adds a extra die to Flint's roll. So, Francis, if you want to make yourself, if you want to puff up and just be like, yeah, you
Yeah.
can. Okay.
I'm not going to. I'm not really intimidating in that way.
Okay.
Looking like this.
All right.
5.
Holy hell. Damn.
Sure beats the 1 that I just rolled.
Really had to do it to him.
The color seems to just completely drain from Kevin's face. Okay, all right, yeah. Loud and clear. Nothing but the truth for me. Swear to God.
I believe you.
Rachel, did you have time to think of those questions?
Yeah, I did think of one. When did you last see Primogen Peterson?
About 3 weeks ago. Maybe a month.
Mm-hmm. And what was the context?
That was when he wanted me to start. He's looking around. Like, okay. I fully intend on answering the question honestly. I just. Whatever you guys know can help add a little bit of context so I'm not wasting our time. Like what? I mean, I'm operating in a vacuum here.
Well, we have made contact with the person that you were stalking.
Oh. Okay. Well, yeah. So, like, Bosco wanted me to keep tabs on the Nos, as they had history together, and
Good or bad history? Mixed.
Like they like back in the day they used to have a thing, and then they lovers quarrel, and then things
Okay.
so there was a, we'll say, professional and semi-romantic curiosity on Bosco's part.
Hmm.
And were some of these details in that book you were so worried about finding?
Not really. There's, if I'm, turnabout is fair play in this regard. I mean, if you kept a notebook full of all your comings and goings and dealings, I mean, would you want some Joe Schmuckatelli coming up on it?
No.
So,
I understand where you're coming from.
all right, anything else, or am I gonna go for a concrete swim here?
Okay, so when you saw him 3 weeks ago, what was his affectation?
His what?
His mood, his demeanor.
I gotcha. No, I mean, friend. I've met plenty of other Nosferatu, but I mean, they're always grumpy pieces of shit. I mean, he was especially grumpy.
And how did you come to carry out this task for him?
Well, I mean, it was like I said, I don't live with the guy, but he gives me blood, and I do things for him. I keep tabs on people. I do dirty work for him.
And that was the depth of your relationship.
For the most part, yeah.
Did you guys meet at the same location all the time, or did you meet up at different locations?
They're always different locations.
If I gave you a map, would you be able to kind of give me some ideas of where you and him have been?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, most definitely. I mean, there are only a handful, but, well, like, one was obviously my, my alleyway. My little camp.
We know
there.
that one, yeah.
I mean, that was where we usually met. But sometimes, it'd be there's the train bridge that goes over the interstate. There you can get up underneath that, and we'd meet there sometimes too.
Okay. Yeah, I'll make sure to get you that map. We'll get those locations all taken care of there. Do you know anything about traveling portals?
So that's what that shit is. Okay.
Wait, you can see it?
Well, no, it's just, yeah. I've seen fucking Nosferatu just pop out of nowhere. I mean, they all do that, But no, what the hell was that movie? It's got the kid with the shaggy hair and the glasses and the lightning bolt thing on his fucking head, and there's that train station.
Harry Potter.
Yeah, that's it. And they
Never heard of.
Well, they just like pop out of the side of a building, or they disappear into the side of the building, and like I'd go and I'd touch the wall, like how you made me do that the other night, and nothing would ever happen. But no,
Right.
I've seen, I mean, the at least the Nosferatu that I've come into contact with, they all seem to know about it, and they all seem to use it.
Hmm.
Okay. Anybody else?
Besides the main person, the tall guy that you were following, was there anyone else within those 3 weeks or so that he was wanting you to keep tabs of?
Nope. Just that tall Nos.
Where did you meet Bosco?
He kind of met me. I mean, I've been working for him for a long time. And, fortunes come and fortunes go. Some, there might be a year or two where, I've got my own place, and, then, oh, hey, yeah, I can't find, decent work, so I end up on the street and rinse and repeat. But he's always been around. He's never been able to really financially help me, or he's just refused to financially help me. But no, I was living on the street, and I honestly think I probably saw the wrong thing at the wrong time, and I could have easily just ended up dead instead of being turned into what I am.
Speaking of what you are, how are you feeling? Do you feel...
I'm fine.
Okay.
I take a step back from.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm fine. Yeah, I've got no problem. I mean,
okay. I just didn't know with, like, I know my partner here had give you a little bit of a fix a while back, and I was just curious if that was enough.
Yeah.
To kind of keep you going, or if you were starting to feel a lost connection to...
Nope, I haven't been doing anything, we'll say, physically or mentally taxing. So I mean, I've been calm, and I've been fine.
And your arrangements here are comfortable enough?
I mean, it's better than living on the street.
I think that's a yes.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, are we done here?
I think we are. Kevin, would you like to go back inside?
Yes, please. And as he seems like he's willing to lead the way out of this situation as quickly as possible. And whether or not he's shaking from the fact that it's the tail end of March, and it's colder than hell outside, and he's not dressed for it, or if he's coming down off of a huge adrenaline rush, remains to be seen. But he does go inside, and you all lead him back to his apartment, and this is where we will take our little break. Nice. And when we come back, we'll pick things up. This has been fun, so we'll see you all in approximately 10 minutes. Woo. Welcome back. Thank you for sticking through the intermission. So the coterie has escorted Kevin back to his apartment, and they've made arrangements with Zeke to maybe make his standard of living a little bit better than what he's currently experiencing. Maybe an actual, mattress with a box spring. But maybe, some canvas, some oil paints. Zeke's probably got a pretty decent sized shopping list now for Kevin's creature comforts. But now the coterie is back in the penthouse and mulling over how to spend the rest of the night and be as productive as they possibly can.
Wow, we went from talking about his execution to funding his artistic endeavors.
Good boys get treats, right?
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, he makes the place look good, and when we off him, we can put a higher rate into that room because of the art.
No one's gonna want to live with all the crazy stuff on the, like, what? No.
You never know.
Yeah, you never know. It's chic.
That stuff's in.
Oh, boy. Yeah, you guys know what's in, right? Mm-hmm.
I have no clue what's in.
I just gesture to the.
Well, I should probably check on my haven right now.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah.
That wasn't really an invitation to you two.
Well, I'm gonna at least stand in the hallway.
Fine. And I would like to make my way there, and I guess they're following me.
I am following you.
Yeah, I ain't got nothing else to do.
Yeah.
So, Rachel is if she could walk and each footfall could make a fuck you sound. That's exactly how this would fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. But Rachel, you go and you open the doorknob, or you turn the doorknob and you open the door. You do feel, a wave of cold hit you.
Mm-hmm.
But so far, nothing seems out of place. If you wish to activate Sense the Unseen,
I will do that.
yep. Nothing is, we'll say, too far out of the ordinary for this being a haunted apartment. There is a light fog or mist that does kind of like settle along the floor of your apartment. Nothing too crazy so far. This has probably been the calmest that you've seen the apartment in quite some time. This is you've had issues ever since you moved in, but this is not bad, all things considered. Flint and Francis, if you guys are standing like right by the door, you do feel, a wave of cold and maybe almost a little. Yeah, a little fleeting moment, maybe like your beast just kind of like twitch inside and just like, there's you get a sense of apprehension and dread. But
I sort of am like, when I'm entering, I just am sort of like walking around, sort of like eyeing the place, sizing it up slowly, and I keep like looking in their direction because I'm not extremely comfortable like having them in here all the way, but without sort of like acknowledging them, I want to start like looking like for little, I don't know, like a loose floorboard, or I'm not sure, like, if there's any, like, paneling on the walls, or if it's, like, just drywall or whatever. Like, I'm looking for, like, I'm looking for something.
Understood. Give me one moment.
Sure.
So, the two of you, Francis and Flint, you see Rachel kind of meandering about. She's, maybe, going through her bookshelves. She's kind of like, tapping, the floorboards and whatnot. Because it is all hardwood in the apartment.
Right.
And there is another cold blast of air, and then the door to Rachel's apartment slams shut.
I don't think it wants us here.
No, I think I'm just on the right track.
No, I was talking to Flint.
Oh.
Because you're inside the apartment, we're outside.
Oh, I thought you came in.
No, we were sitting
Oh.
outside.
Oh,
Yeah.
my bad. Okay.
Come on, you didn't give permission to a kid. You gotta give permission for us to enter.
Yeah, you said no. So
So, and any attempt to open the door meets in failure, short of trying to body slam the door open.
no,
Yeah,
I didn't plan on it just because
I'll give a couple knocks and just be like, "You okay in there?"
It's fine. It's just the normal stuff. I'm trying to figure it out. Can you get the door open?
Can we? Would you like it open?
From your side? Yes, because I can't from my side.
I jiggled nothing.
No,
No,
turning the knob on either side of the door does not do anything. The door will not budge.
yeah. The only way we're coming in is if we tear the door down.
Fine. Okay. I want to go over to my bookshelf, and I would like to pull out a copy, which I certainly have, of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone.
Okay. And what do you intend to do with this book?
It's a present for Kevin.
Okay.
And I'm just like, so I'll just like, there's probably like a little table by the door for like keys and, whatever. So I'm just going to like set it over there because it just like struck me. And then I sort of meander a little bit more and I'm just like, I'm just trying to understand you. Can you lead me to something you may have left behind, something important to you? Ghost roll.
One of the books from your bookshelf flies towards your head but misses, and it hits the door behind you.
It's not just me anymore, There are other people on the case. I'm trying to go about this the gentlest way possible. Is there any like clue around like in terms of like the structure like inside the apartment? Like
you could probably let's do intelligence and investigation.
Investigation. I'm gonna burn a willpower.
Okay.
Did it refresh?
Yes.
No?
Yes, it did.
Okay.
And Flint and Francis, you did obviously hear, the book, hit the door. You can kind of hear Rachel having this one-sided conversation. If she moves any deeper into the apartment, though, it's going to require some rolls if you want to keep hearing what she says.
Okay, I got 5 successes.
Okay. You've always noticed that, there was a like a painting on the wall that's always seemed to hang off kilter no matter how much you adjust it. And it's never really struck you until now. You know, now that you've got some information to work with from your conversation with her. And yeah, it'd be worth looking into.
Okay, can I go investigate it?
Yep.
Okay.
So you, the picture itself was one that you put up.
Right.
But you take it off the wall, and you start, tapping along the wall, along the drywall itself.
Okay.
Another book sails from your bookshelf, and their aim has not improved. And your back is to the bookshelf that the book itself came from, so you didn't notice it.
Okay.
But it does land, it does thud right next to you, so it does give you a little bit of a jolt.
I'm looking closer.
Okay.
Proceeding.
So you're tapping, and you notice that there is, normally, there's the studs in a wall.
Yeah.
Kind of are spaced somewhat evenly, but you do notice that there is a sizable gap between one stud and the next.
I want to go and try the door again to see if I can open it.
It does not budge. At least to normal attempts to open the door. And Francis and Flint, you do hear her trying the knob.
Are you needing out?
I think I think I'm on the trail to something here, but I don't know how to get to it. I feel like I potentially need force.
I'm gonna pop prowess.
Okay.
And now I'm going to attempt to open the door.
Alright. 1 second.
What does that do?
It gives me a +1 to any tests of strength.
Okay, and that does not require a rouse check?
It is a free, I believe.
I'm not sure about that one.
Okay, potence. Prowess, it does require a rouse check.
Oh.
Okay. Ooh.
And when activated, add the potence rating of the user to their unarmed damage value as well as to feats of strength.
Okay, so it just gives me a plus uno.
No, prowess is a level 2 power. So you should have 2 in potence.
2. Oh, yeah. Okay, that's where the other one goes. That makes sense now.
The stars have aligned. While Flint is doing this, Rachel, I want you to roll Dex and Athletics, please.
Oh no. Oh no.
I have succeeded.
Okay, well, what'd you roll, Flint?
Nine.
On the rouse check. Okay, yeah, you're good there.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. And then Dex and Athletics for me.
Yeah.
Wow. I got 4 successes.
You get that little tingle in the back of your head, like, I think another book is on its way. And you do sidestep in time as another book thuds against the door, right where your head would have been. So yeah, you would have gotten clobbered. So you just miss. Flint, go ahead and roll strength and athletics, please. And don't forget to add your potence into this.
Sounds good.
Francis, if you're going to help Flint bust the door down, Flint, you can add a roll. Or add a die to the roll.
Goose egg.
You can willpower, can't you?
I am gonna burn a willpower.
Don't forget about that. It's powerful.
Yeah.
Give me something good. 3 successes.
1, 2, 3, and you slam your shoulders into the door. And it almost seems like it doesn't want to go. But Rachel, fortunately, didn't, lock the deadbolt, obviously.
No.
And the presence in the room didn't seem to have the mind to do the deadbolt. If that was the case, this probably would have resulted in someone ending up with a dislocated shoulder. But the door shutters open. This is going to, unfortunately, require maintenance to fix the door for it to close properly.
That's what I was worried about.
It does pop off, or you do rip one of the hinges out of the frame.
Damn it.
And when Flint and Francis enter the room, the temperature seems to drop 10 degrees.
Ooh.
Well, I didn't want to bring them in here, but it seems I have no choice. And
Is your AC broken?
No, it's a result of the disturbance.
Gotcha.
And I'm trying to make some progress here, and I want to, take them over to that spot.
Do you need anything else broken down?
Not quite yet. Maybe. I'm not happy with the damage that's already been done, but I'm being pelted with books, and...
Okay. Speaking of which, as soon as Rachel says that, 3 books go flying off the bookshelf. Francis, the book intended for you does miss. Flint and Rachel, I'm going to need Dex and Athletics rolls from the two of you, please.
My last one was so good, I'll never be able to replicate that. I got 2.
What am I rolling again? I'm sorry, I was checking
Dex
out.
and Athletics.
Thank you. I was reading up on rapid reflexes, seeing if that would do anything. Not so much in this situation. 2.
Okay. Flint, you try to sidestep the book as it hurtles through the air. It clips you in your right shoulder. You would take 1 bashing damage. However, that is rounded down, so you are unharmed. Rachel, you get hit right between the eyes.
Oh, man.
And
oh, man.
you take 1 level of damage.
Oh, man.
And
shit.
You are seeing stars and are a little, yeah.
Yeah, I stumbled back for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And it was,
Whoa, that was close. I almost got hit.
yeah, I'm glad you didn't get hit.
Oh, wait, are you okay?
I mean, I'll be fine.
What did you do to piss this off?
I didn't do anything. I'm not doing anything. I feel like I'm not doing anything. I'm just trying to follow the path here. It won't communicate with me, so I can't. There's no parlay here. So I'm obviously doing something it doesn't want, but which I'm assuming is discover who it is, what it is, something connected to them. They want to remain unknown as a presence to
Maybe
disrupt my life.
maybe if doing nothing is pissing it off, maybe you should do something.
That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to do something okay. And I take them over.
What are you trying to do here?
Okay, and I want to take them over to, and I'll point out the spot in the drywall. Okay, there's an unusual space here. I'm trying to find basically something that is connected, some item, some idea, some notion of the spirit that's here. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. Like, have you looked into the history of the building at all?
No, not yet. Not for this particular thing.
Because
I guess I thought that was too cliche. Oh, someone died here, or oh, someone was murdered. I don't know.
I mean, it's cliche, but I mean, sometimes, like, shit went down here. Like, things in this town were real bad back in the day. I mean, I know, like, you're the ghosty person. I know I have jack shit about any of it.
That's the thing. I'm not a ghosty. I don't have ghost information.
Not ghosty. Occult.
Right. This is just not really in the same. It's not really in the same area.
Would you be able to give me like a flow chart of what you do deal with, and then like what is paranormal that you don't deal with? Just so I can kind of have like a better understanding of what all that you do.
Okay, I don't have a specific specialty in the occult, but because of my clan and that I practice thaumaturgy, I know about blood magic, blood sorcery. I do those things as well. I'm building up my skills, but I do that. And then, any type of occult text, I have some base level knowledge on what it says, and then, as you know, I can sense supernatural things.
And like I said, maybe it is super cliche, but maybe it's something. Maybe it has
do I
something.
just Google it, or is there some other
you're
place
the
of
book
records
person. I don't.
I meant about the building.
I mean, like I said, you're the book person.
Oh my god. Okay.
What about this drywall?
I was saying that the studs have an unusually a large amount of space in between them at this particular point. And the thing I'm looking for is not something that belongs to me. It's not my possession. It's some kind of anything, a clue left behind from the spirit.
So it could be in the wall.
Yeah.
So I want to knock on the wall. Does it sound different as opposed to like a different part of the wall?
Well, if you're tapping your fists along the wall, the space that Rachel is talking about does seem to have a deeper resonance to it.
I hate to. I don't want more damage and disarray in here, but I don't feel like I have a choice but to investigate.
Well, you brought us in the room.
As you say that, all three of you can hear a raspy voice just seem to emanate from the entire room itself. Every corner, up, down, left, right. Leave me alone.
Shall I?
Stop!
Tear down that wall!
Are you gonna punch
Go
it?
ahead.
Boom. Punch in the wall.
All
Break
right.
it down.
Strength and athletics. You've got prowess still active, so go ahead and add your potence to the roll. I think strength and brawl might actually be a little bit more appropriate now that you're actually physically punching something.
I'll assist.
Would you say I'm grappling the wall?
No. No, Francis, you cannot assist him. You are not going to grab his wrist and help.
I'm saying maybe we're like, whatever, both punching.
Not for this particular action.
6.
Yeah.
So
The wall disappears.
His hand goes through the outside of the building.
No, well, this is the wall itself is actually an interior wall. This wall divides like the living space from what would be the bathroom. And Flint, your hand just smashes through both sets of drywall. You thankfully are able to pull your hand back out relatively easily, but now Rachel has 2 holes that are going to need repaired. Sometimes the Bruja, it's hard to... Potents can get a lot of stuff done, but there's no finesse
Yes.
when it comes
Sick.
to potents.
6 to a
tracks.
drywall. Yeah.
But you pull your hand back, and you've at least got an opening. And it does appear that there is, there is something strange about how these studs are offset. But you're starting to rip and tear the wall down. And, there's, oddly enough, there's cobwebs, there's spider webs. So this area isn't necessarily like enclosed like how it should. There's a gap that insects and whatnot can easily traverse through. But at the bottom of the floor here, inside this space, there is a silver charm bracelet.
Yes.
I'll hand it over to Rachel.
I take it.
Okay. And with that, the room goes back to normal. The cold stops. That sense of dread and foreboding is gone.
This is it. This is it. This is what I needed exactly.
Is it a Horcrux?
I don't know. Maybe something like it. I'm not sure. But this is exactly. And I have it in my hand. I'm sort of clutching it, and in that on that table that's outside the door.
Mm-hmm.
Did that get it all like messed up when we broke through? Okay.
No.
So in it's like a little wooden like side table, and it's got like one of those tiny little drawers in the front. And I'm gonna open the drawer, and I'm just gonna take out one of those little velvet drawstring bags.
Mm-hmm.
And I have some spare ones in there because I keep my little hematite squares in some of them. So I'm just gonna like put it in there and draw it closed, and put it on set it down on the coffee table.
Okay.
Okay. Flint, thank you. I mean,
Don't mention it.
thank you. That's not my area, these types of things. But this is good. This is good. I have something to show this more knowledgeable person, and this is a step in the right direction for having this. I don't know if both of you understand how important it is to me to have a place of my own, to be alone.
I think we all get it. I mean, we
Yeah.
all need a place to decompress and
I mean, I guess
see about the situation here. But I mean, I can assume just how frustrating it actually is having to find your place of what you would want to be solitude to only be interrupted by a pest.
right, but it's more than that. You know, you carry certain things from growing up.
Yeah.
I could never be alone. Ever. There was no time I was alone. There was no room. There was no escape. It was everyone all the time surrounded by people. And now that I finally am away from all of that, even all these years later, I don't like the fact that I can't be alone because there's something here and it's can speak. So
Well,
I don't want it here.
I'm really glad that. I mean, I was just here. I didn't really do anything. Flint's the one that pretty much did all the help. But well, I'm glad we all were able to figure out what's been causing you so much grief lately. I want to apologize for invading your personal space like we did, but I feel like it was the only way necessary to be able to help you out.
It had to be done. And I'm not happy about the damage that's been done, but it could have been worse.
It will come out of my own personal pockets to get this fixed.
And a simple, text message to Zeke, saying what needs to be fixed and when. It can be done. It would probably be more convenient for the repairs to happen at night. But it is something that that can be arranged. It is at this point in time that Zeke actually does text all three of you in a group text. Need to discuss situation with VIP in penthouse. Could you please meet with me at your convenience?
I text back on the way.
Okay. So the coterie goes back up to the penthouse, and Zeke is standing there, and he's kind of pacing back and forth. Now the you can make the arrangements with Zeke to fix the apartment. That's gonna be a gimme exchange.
Yeah.
But so Zeke sees the three of you come back into the penthouse, and he seems to have a huge weight taken off of his shoulders. Thank you for coming back so quickly. I actually got a message from Mr. Amaya's people. He was wanting a status update about the arrangements that were going to be made, and I told him that I would be in contact with you all momentarily. His people grew a little impatient with that, and that is why I texted you all. So I do appreciate this.
Tell him to proceed.
Okay. All right. Well, it sounds like they want to meet.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. We can meet.
Okay. They actually don't want to meet here. They want to have a conversation with you at the art gallery. If that is something that you are able to do, they made it seem like this was this needed to happen like as soon as possible.
Let's load up the truck.
Thank you.
Yep.
And Zeke, he leaves the three of you to your own devices, and he pulls out his phone and he's sending a text message. So
I'm not surprised he's already after us for an answer, but at least we have it.
Yep. And, well, I'm expecting pleasantries. Let's all be very on guard. I mean, we don't know what necessarily we're walking into. Yes, we're going to the art gallery, but, I mean, he doesn't seem too friendly with the Camarilla, so it seems like a pretty public place to be meeting.
Well, I mean, the prince seems to have pretty distinct reservations about him, so I think we should be then doubly cautious in that case with what we're saying, with what we're agreeing to. Like, hopefully his spirits will be lifted by our answer.
Yeah.
Alright, so the Sioux City Art Gallery is one of the many pet projects that Prince Jimenez has orchestrated in the downtown Sioux City metropolitan area in an attempt to revitalize the city and put on a fresh face. The art gallery is, of course, the personal domain of Primogen Tran of Clan Toreador.
Mm-hmm.
There's no, soirees or anything necessarily scheduled tonight, at least from your recollection. The Herald would make a point to, announce any official gatherings. But that's not to say that Tran can't hold his own personal private events, much like the coterie would hold their own personal private events, for the kindred that they wish to wine and dine, so to speak. But Flint's truck, trundles into the parking lot. There are, a couple high-end, luxury sedans and SUVs parked here. Flint's truck sticks out like a sore thumb.
I think we need to get you an upgrade.
I don't think I need an upgrade. Maybe just a new coat of paint.
But the coterie walks up to the main entrance of the art gallery, and there is a generic, gorilla-looking security guard in an off-the-rack suit, standing by the front door. And you notice he's got a little radio earpiece in, and one of those metal detecting, paddle wands. But the three of you approach, and he, makes a point of bulking up in front of the door. I need to see your invitations.
Someone's expecting us.
Well, I'm sure that people are expecting anybody, but I need your invitations, or if you're on the guest list.
I use Dominate.
That was fast.
Okay, what power are you wishing to employ?
I am going to use Mesmerize.
Okay. Let me just double check this.
It's a rouse check.
Is it a rouse check? Okay.
It is.
Alright, okay, this is going to be me acting as the kind, benevolent storyteller. This is the domain of a Primogen.
Yeah.
This goon is more than likely, if he's not directly employed by the Primogen, he is employed by the company that works for the Primogen. Any tampering with the help that is discovered would result in some pretty not good things for the individual and the coterie associated with the individual. It would be the same as if Tran came into, St. Valentine's and, dominated Zeke.
Okay.
If you wish to continue with this course of action, I will let you do so. But you do so at your own peril. This is your one kind, benevolent ST warning for this chronicle.
We used it. It's gone.
Nah, I'm gonna hold off.
Okay. I will now officially no longer intervene if you choose to do something stupid.
That's scary.
I am going to pop Daunt on, though.
Oh, y'all.
Okay. All right.
Just in case. You don't want to be around me now, but just in case.
Okay. And this is a passive. It's not a targeted ability like what Mesmerize would be. So this is, everyone near Flint's like making a, it's uncomfortable to be around Flint, and he's definitely intimidating if he wishes to exert his full force of personality on you.
What if I used awe?
Ooh.
Well, Awe and Daunt are kind of like opposite.
Yeah.
So that's going to create a weird vibe.
I know a kindred cannot use both at the same time, but I have no clue what would happen if
we create a singularity and he's sucked in immediately.
I've seen movies like this.
That's kind of like my thought process is, he's like, no one wants to be around, but I turn off on, and this guy's like,
that would make you more appealing.
Yeah.
And it's still, like Rachel and the security goon you guys are definitely like, this is uncomfortable.
Do we have any like direct line of communication with Amaya, or?
Not directly. I don't believe you guys exchanged numbers.
Yeah, I don't think we did.
But this would be, I call it the ghoul mafia. The ghouls talk to each other, and the ghouls have ways of making things work. Stuff goes on that their masters never see or hear about.
Sure.
But so how are we wishing to proceed with the man-sized roadblock?
I want to just sort of like turn my back and like walk away, and I want to text Zeke.
Okay. So
and with him having Daunt on and me having on, I'm like, I know you have a job to do. Mm-hmm. We do not have a formal invitation on hand. We were privately asked by someone of high importance to come here. And I'm sure if you were to go and ask around, you would see that we don't necessarily need a formal invitation.
Okay, Rachel, what are you texting to Zeke?
I just want to say, we need an invitation. Help.
You get a text back, filtering word to who needs to hear. Francis, I want you to go ahead and let's do charisma and persuasion. Since you have awe on, go ahead and add your presence to the roll.
This is a lot of dice.
Don't jinx it.
Yeah.
And he was never heard from again.
Yeah. he poofed.
I'm going to use a willpower and re-roll 2 dice. One, two, three, four, 5 successes.
You definitely have enough. The security guard wants to get out of the situation as quickly as possible. It is very uncomfortable being around. It's an oil and water thing.
It's crazy. Oh boy.
But he just one second.
Take your time.
Stay here, and
We won't go anywhere.
he
Take
he,
your time.
he goes back inside, and you can hear it, or you can see him talking into his wrist mic and his earpiece. And as this is going on, you see Premige and Tran come out of a side door here in the entryway, and he's all smiles, and he's talking with the security goon, and then he turns and he sees the three of you, and he's got this huge smile on his face, and he walks out and opens the door. Oh, hello. Hi, it's a pleasure to see you all. Thank you very much for coming. I'm sorry about my man's manners. He has a hard time understanding that sometimes people don't need to be on a list, and sometimes people don't need an invitation. If you are who you are, you can just come and go as you please. I mean, this place is open to all of our kind. Please do come in.
Thank you for the warm invitation, Primogen. I understand he's just trying to do his job.
Oh, and yes, I will definitely. I mean, the three of you don't come around often enough.
It's a shame. We need to come over more.
How you speak.
I need to
truth.
culture these two a little bit more.
I'm inclined to agree with you on that. He's looking at you, Flint, when he says that. I mean, some people.
Yeah, I mean, he's smashy. I mean, that's.
Well, he's a brute. Oh, I better not say that in public now. Oh, but yes, agreed. And Tran, he turns his attention to you, Rachel, and you, dear. I really do need to make a point to, we don't talk enough. You should really, when you have some free time, I should introduce you to some people that I think you would just enjoy conversating with. But really, we should get inside. Follow me. And
For you?
Tran is he leads the way through the main entryway, and the room itself is the main lobby is floor to ceiling, and in the picture there, that big like glass section of the building. I don't know if you guys have remember the pictures that I showed you, or hey, it's in the viewer's guide. But that glass section is basically like the lobby. There's a stairway that starts in the middle of the lobby here, and it does spiral out along the glass wall there, and each floor is its own little chunk, kind of in the north section of the building. There's a string quartet playing in the middle of the lobby, and the acoustics are actually very, very kind. I mean, this a room like this wasn't designed for, chamber music, but it works. And you do see a few kindred that you would recognize for being, Toreador, just, through the coteries, comings and goings, the various, Elysia and, court functions and whatnot. And you do see Amaya kind of hanging out in the back with a champagne flute full of a red liquid, talking with a striking blonde Toreador. But Tran, he's doing his best to, make the three of you feel welcome. I need a drink here. 1 second.
Yeah. Everybody drink.
Mm-hmm. So I'm assuming business is well. I haven't been.
You need to come over. It's top notch.
I hear things. I hear that the three of you, now that we are inside, the three of you do happen to keep a rather prestigious domain, and I should make a point to come over more and see what it's like living on the upper crust of kindred political affiliations, as it were. I know, that when I'm speaking with you all, I am effectively speaking with Prince Jimenez, and vice versa. And I do believe that a mutual acquaintance has wanted the three of you here post-haste, so I will dispense with the pleasantries for now and leave you with our friend while I go and entertain my guests. So please make yourself at home. Help yourself to any refreshment that may be circulating. You are among... Well, I don't want to say friends, per se. He's looking at you again, Flint. But please, do enjoy yourselves. And he...
Will do, and I'll look forward to speaking to you soon.
As do I. Now, I bid you good night, and please, like I said, make yourselves at home. And Tran turns and leaves.
Fancy for him.
Well, you are like the last Bruja in Sioux City that still claims allegiance to the Ivory Tower, so it would stand to reason.
Yeah. Big time.
I'll gussy up a little bit.
And now, yeah, for effect, you are all still wearing the same clothes that you started the night off in. So
I was business casual.
yes, you were. And Flint, you were wearing your work shirt.
Yep, there it is.
Yep.
And I'm still wearing, the black, flowy tank top with my black bolero that has lace on the back. And, I'm appropriately accessorized, my black maxi skirt, So I feel like I don't look special in a sea of Toreadors, but I look aight.
Yeah,
I look like a mechanic.
Yeah, that's not great.
Rachel's probably the most appropriately dressed out of the three of you, and she's still not where it needs to be for, yeah.
No, not at all.
So, the three of you, once Tran leaves, Amaya does notice your presence, and he smiles and he gestures for you all to come over and speak to him. And he leans in and has a word with the Toreador that he's speaking with, who gives you all... She gives you all a little bit of side eye, but she does leave as you guys approach. Amaya.
Cousin.
Oh, hold on a second. Amaya is he looks the part. He's wearing a tuxedo. His hair's slicked back. He doesn't have his briefcase with him or anything like that. But his shoes, you could probably use it to do the heliogram, like light signals. They are shined that well. So, anyways, proceed, Francis.
I walk up and say, "Cousin, good evening."
And good evening, cousin. Yes. Ms. DeWitt.
Hello.
And Mr. Cole. How does the night find you three?
Surprisingly well.
Oh, very well, I'd say.
Very productive.
I'm glad time is money, of course. Yes, as Mr. Jacobs can attest to. Now, that bit of business that we discussed. I trust that things went well. Yes.
Golden.
Yes, indeed. We were able to present the prince with your request.
And what was his response?
Everything is good for... What's the word I'm looking for? For trafficking, as long as nothing is directly distributed in Sioux City.
Understood. And this conversation is happening in it's happening in a far corner of the room. So you don't need
Yeah.
You were not openly discussing this right in the middle of the right in the middle of the lobby.
Yeah.
Yes, Flint. Hey, yo!
Just town crier
No.
style, just
Yeah, no,
sitting on a
I was-
apple box, just...
Ding, ding.
All right. Well, I'm. Were there any professional concerns that either of you would like to raise with me right now about the matter?
I mean, I guess I'm just a bit curious as to your... I don't know about motivation, but what's the end goal here?
Well, I mean that is of course my business, but as I said when we first met, I'm a collector, and there are certain things, certain favors, boons, both through financially and of course the way that only kindred can get things done. I'm merely the middleman. I do, of course, take some goodies for myself here and there from my own private collection, but I am merely the facilitator for these deals. And
Well, I just maybe a bit further than my colleagues here. I'm a bit of a collector myself, so I have a marked interest in this as well.
Of course, and I wouldn't. I would actually be surprised if you didn't. If you didn't express any interest in this. So, what were the prince's terms? I'm sure there were terms.
I don't know that there were any specific stipulations as opposed to...
Like I said, the main thing he was concerned about is trafficking was okay as long as distribution directly in a city
Didn't happen.
didn't happen.
Understood.
Now, if you wanted distribution to other parts, I mean, I might be able to find. I have contacts in places.
We all have contacts in various locations and places, sir. But I, th- I politely decline your offer. Now, very well. I will see. I will see that that this happens smoothly. And if there are any changes in circumstances, I will be sure to let you all know so that you may let our mutual acquaintance, Prince Jimenez, know. And I do understand my place in the grand scheme of things, that you all are acting as the go-between. I am content with that, and I'm sure Prince Jimenez is content with that as well. So that is an arrangement I would like to keep in place. Now, Ms. DeWitt, if I do happen to find anything that I think you would find particularly juicy, I may see to it that you get first dibs on bidding for the product. Now,
I appreciate that.
and while you're here, I trust that your meeting with our other acquaintance went well.
Yes, in fact, it did. I was quite pleased, and things are progressing nicely.
Excellent, wonderful. I mean, she is a good friend to have, and I would like nothing more than to see the two of you get off on the right foot and stay on the right foot.
Yes, much agreed.
Well, if you must excuse me, I must depart, and I have other business to attend to this night. And I thank you all for dropping what you were doing and coming to speak to me. It eases my mind knowing that I have the prince's, not necessarily his support or permission, but the fact that I can operate in his city relatively unmolested. And I will see to it that the three of you are promptly rewarded for your assistance in this matter. So thank you.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
So Amaya turns and actually heads into... he actually goes up the stairs, and it appears that he's heading towards one of the exhibits. So the three of you are here in the middle of Toreador Central.
Ugh. This is interesting. I feel like there's something deeper at work here, no?
Absolutely.
I mean, of course there is.
I just couldn't get any kind of temperature on what that was. But it stands to reason that there's no way this is simply for financial gain or boons, or... I mean, of course boons are very useful, but I don't know. Because of the nature of anything occult. And it also... We're in a very distinct, unique position, as we are both middlemen in terms of our group, and then Mr. Amaya. We're both, and I think it could certainly be used to our advantage.
Oh, for sure.
But, and then I sort of lean in a little closer, even though we're still, I'm assuming we're still kind of out of the way. Yeah. So I do, even so, I still lean in, and I put my hand on Flint's arm, and I'm like, I don't know about Tran. He talks a lot and says very little. And I don't know that I don't know, I'm curious about who he maybe wants me to meet, but something doesn't seem right. Do you have a take on that, or?
I can see where you're coming from on it. I don't have too much of a take, though.
I just don't know if it's worth a potential risk, and I'm not exactly a social butterfly. I don't even want to be here.
Well, the closer that you get to the people that he wants you to get, the closer you can get to him and figure out why.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And that is where we will end tonight's story.
Oh, damn it.
This was a really awesome session tonight.
Yes.
Yeah, super good.
This is yeah, and for those of you watching at home, yeah, and during the intermission, I told all three of them here that this is why we do what we do. This was a primo session. Very, very wonderful. Yes. Mwah.
Chef kiss.
Salt Bay.
Oh, God. Ancient meme.
So, everyone go ahead and say goodnight, and we will wrap this bitch up.
Good night,
All
everyone.
right, everyone.
Good night.
Oh my god.
What did I...
What happened?
What?
Oh, me and Sarah said goodnight, everyone, in the exact same
Oh.
way.
I didn't even notice. I was just like focusing.
It's like almost the same pitch and everything.
Oh, I can't wait to watch that.
There's a few things that I could say
We're
that are not...
sneaking up.
Yes, but... So, once again, from all of us here at Martlet Games, thank you for watching, and have a good night.
Thank you. Good night.